Hello and welcome back. This is Mutiny Motorsport. This is season 10. And this is the race we have in store for you. You can see on our beautiful calendar here. What am I talking about? It's the beautiful commentary team. I am Alex and I've got Nate with me alongside. Say hi, Nate.
Hello, everybody.
And we can see on our beautiful race calendar, we've done Barcelona. You've seen the chaos in Montreal. We are off to round 3 Silverstone. They're approaching halfway. There's 7 race calendar, so this is pretty much the halfway point of the season. There is a drop round this season, so one of these rounds, your worst scoring round for the drivers, will not be counted towards their championship total. And in the beautiful Silverstone, we can see the track record up on the left there by Shattered Compass of 128. That was in the F Ultimate Gen 2. I don't think we're going to be hitting that today. And our previous winners here in Season 1, Chris Boardman, and in Season 5, Chris Barnes. So if your name is Chris, you're doing pretty well around Silverstone.
No Chris in the field today, though. So qualifying, we've got Peter up top with a 1:30.680, followed by Pulo really close there. The Lotuses have been super quick all season. TTR in 3rd, Nate Delta in 4th with a really good qualifying from him. Shattered Compass in 5th, Orange Trumpet Boy in 6th, Ass Moon Alex in 7th, Old Boy Bob in 8th, Garrett O'Brien in 9th, John D in 10th, Springflower in 11th, Debug in 12th, Mr. Mouse in 13th, Stupid Doobie in 14th, and Maxi in 15th, about 4 seconds off the pace. So really a huge grid here today as we're getting ready for the lights.
And here we go. They are away, and Peter seems to get a great lead. And I'm looking down the scoreboard. TTR in 2nd. Where is Pulo? He doesn't seem to be on the grid right now.
It looked like he's maybe spun there at the beginning.
Yeah, we'll have to. Hopefully, we'll be able to go back to that. But off the moment, Peter with a great start. TTR there, and Old Boy up into 3rd almost immediately. Nate down into 5th. So we have got a few movers and shakers straight off the line here. As we look back at Orange, he's there, he's going down the straight. Wow, it's 3 abreast already. Who's coming out on top of that? Orange is holding his own. There you go. That's how you do it down the Wellington straight into Brooklands.
That was pretty touch and go there. I mean, 3 wide into that corner. You can go side by side, but it definitely narrows up a little bit. So really good to see all drivers get through there and keep going.
And here we go, Arse Moon right on the back of Nate.
Oh, wow. Huge snap there over the curb.
Yeah, and off to the side here, we can see the race restart. This is Pulo, engine revving. Oh, it's in that 2nd phase, just lights it up in 2nd gear, I think, and straight into the wall. Here we go again, off board, watching him. You can see immediately as he goes.
What the hell, man? Oh, no.
And that is disappointment. Tens of meters into this race.
You could really see that jump there from Old Boy ABC, just really getting off the line quick. And I couldn't tell if there was contact there. It looked like, I think like you said, it looked like Pulo just sort of spun up the tires in that 2nd phase of the acceleration and just lost it.
That is so hard. These cars are extremely tricky to get away. There is so much power. So much power just coming out of those 2 rear wheels. And if it just lights up, it's very hard, as you got to see there. Even Pulo, the race winner, getting it all sorts of wrong.
No DRS yet. That'll come in on the 2nd lap. We've got Debug making a move here on Stupid Doobie for 10. Great move.
And what a move it was, was fantastic. Took the inside line, took command of the corner, and here we see the McLaren of Garrett O'Brien. He is right on the back of Springflower here, coming up around the outsides. Oh, I mean, that's a tough corner. Here we go into the Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel. Orange, and you can see Garrett getting the car sideways there as he comes out onto the back straight, the hanger straight, tucked right underneath as we go back on board with TTR.
TTR not letting Peter slip away here. I mean, if we think back to Montreal, I think 2 laps in, Peter was already 4 or 5 seconds ahead of the field, so he's really keeping him honest so far in this opening stages.
maybe learnt a lesson or two from Peter. Is very strong, just out the gate, out the pits, every time. Every lap is a fast lap. And it's a lesson to be learnt for all the drivers here. You can't warm up into these races. You've got to go for gold immediately. He's on board with Nate. Lost the position off the line, I think. He was in fourth. He's now in fifth. Shattered Compass gained that position over him. So go back on board with TTR. Still under a second here. And DRS will be opening up this lap, I think. This is lap 3. So he's trying to keep himself in contention, just like Garrett O'Brien with Springflower just in front of him.
I already saw some cars taking advantage of that down the Wellington Straight, so we'll have to see here as they come out of the Megs Becketson Chapel. There will be a DRS zone opening up there down the Hangar Straight, so you have to try to stay close through these corners, which is easier said than done, especially this final corner. But if you can stay close, you'll have a good chance at a run down into Stowe.
You can see Orange taking a much tighter line, opens up the DRS. There's a few DRSs open, and that is Nate up into fourth. So it's Old Boy who's actually fallen down a couple of spots there. Both Shattered and Nate going up. Old Boy back down to fifth place from his great start up into third. Oh, he jumps in the pits already, lap 3. Does he have a problem? Did he spin?
I don't remember seeing him spin or anything, but maybe he just burned up the tires quickly.
And it is a hot day. If you look up in the top left-hand side, you'll see it's 48 degrees on the track, 31 in the crowd. Whoa, that is a toasty day for the British folks. They will be looking like lobsters if they got their shirts off. And there we go, Nate opening up the DRS. He's within a second, 0.6, 0.5. You can see it at the bottom there, climbing down, 0.4. So he gained about a quarter of a second there on Shattered Compass and keeping him very humble.
Shoot, I spotted my DRS open.
Oh no! Oh, and no rear wing on that first mate's car. It looks like Orange Trophy Boy picking up a huge spin there.
At least it wasn't attacked from behind. It was just spinning with the DRS, but that is going to destroy the race there. That is a long way back to the pits. As we get to see a replay here, slow-mo. Coming through the corner, hits the apex. See him going onto the curb, opens the DRS. Oh, it just like maybe the curb, maybe the steering angle, maybe a bit of both, just unsettled the car. And then backwards into the wall. Oh, that's a disappointment.
Yeah, really no chance to save it there. Just kind of fired him across the track into the wall.
Yeah, and these cars we saw last week in Montreal, once the DRS is open, they're just so lively. You need the smallest touch for it all to go wrong, and it was just a little asking too much at the end of that corner. As we see Nate, I think there's Shattered Compass going off onto the grass. That's a great opportunity for Nate.
Nate really hustling him. I mean, Shattered was way off the track there, so he's starting to feel the pressure.
He is. Nate's looking up the insides. They're almost side by side, and they're going to go onto the Wellington Straight here. Out of Village. This is where Orange just had a crash.
It looks like Nate not quite able to get past Shattered there, so Shattered must have, he had to have been on the button there on the overtake, deploying some of that hybrid power to try to stay in front there.
Gotta be it. And you see Orange is in the pits down in fourth. Oh, no, he's still making his way. He's not even to the pits yet. Still crawling his way through Maggots and Beckett's. The leaders have just caught him. Oh, that's a long way back. That Shattered going wide yet again.
Both of the captains' cars are really under a lot of pressure from Nate Delta pressuring Shattered Compass as we see Orange Trumpet Boy picking his way through the grass there.
Here we go. Nate with the move down the inside. He shows his front wing.
And you have to imagine this is really burning up both those drivers' tires. It looks like Shattered a little bit, tends to be overshooting his braking points. I mean, you saw there Nate just able to get to the apex better as he shows his nose a little bit here, and this is bringing Asmund into play as well.
Yeah, Arsmoon must be loving this. You can't remember already. Arsmoon's still in the lead of the championship after a great start. So this race is coming to Arsmoon right now. But yeah, you're right. It's a hot day. The track is 48 and they're fighting. Those tires must be on fire. And that is a lot of pressure. But Shattered Compass is one driver who can absorb a lot of pressure. Takes the inside defensive line. Nate has to go wide, try and get some clean air on those wings.
And I think Shattered's actually played his card right. He's managed to back Nate up into Athmoon's DRS range. So now Nate's going to have to be thinking a little bit more about defending as well as attacking.
Yeah, and that is super tricky as we see Garrett O'Brien still trying to get past Springflower, still within the seconds. As again, we're following this battle down. This is the battle for third place at the moment. This is Nate hounding, absolutely hounding Shattered Compass, who has to take to the escape. Goes super wide. Nate's got the DRS. I think this has got to be done. Yeah, it is done. Shattered's mistake there. Pressure. Now he's got 9.5 seconds towards TTR. Can he keep up? He's in free air now.
Nate Delta really, I think, he's stepped it up over the last few seasons. And I think of his podium in the opening in Season 8 and then had some really good runs in Season 9 and now here in Season 10. I mean, he's been at the sharp end of the grid consistently.
Yeah, he is hounding. He is, and that was a great amount of pressure to put on. Just there, I've got my DRS open. Maybe I can't get you on the straight into the braking zone, but hey, I'm going to be there every corner. So now Shattered Compass has got to think about Arsmoon behind him, and Garrett is still thinking about Springflower in front of him. There we go, DRS open. Oh! I think that was Shattered Compass backwards.
Both drivers managed to split him on the latest straight, my goodness.
That must have been terrifying. Must have been absolutely terrifying.
I wonder if he had the same issue as Orange, with maybe just opening up his DRS on the curb there. I mean, it looks similar.
You would imagine so, because he wasn't. Oh, that is one broken car, and that again is a long way back to the pits. Oh, that is disappointing. He's on board with TTR, still just 2 seconds. It's going to be more now that he's gone off. There.
Looked like quite a snap there.
Yeah.
Doesn't appear to be too much wind.
Orange, I'm going to be joining you in the back here.
Let's get on board. Oh yeah, looks like the curb there as well. Same place, just different direction. It spins out onto the track and you see how close it was. Oh, opens it up, just bounces between the left and the right hand side of the curb. And you got to think that's maybe one of his first times opening DRS this race. And you see how close it was, how the Garrett had to just take to the right hand side.
That was some really quick thinking there from Garrett. I would love to see his onboard, and maybe needs a change of pants after this as well.
Yeah. But I was just saying, you got to think that's got to be one of his first times opening DRS this race, so he might not have realized how bad it was in the dirty air. So it would have been very different in practice opening the DRS and in qualifying to be opening the DRS in the dirty air of a driver in front and having all of that to deal with as well.
That's a really good point, because obviously these drivers would have, DRS would have been enabled during the entirety of qualifying in the race, and they might have been, hey, I can open it on the curb, no problem. But now as you add in that extra layer of the dirty air from the car in front, and suddenly what you thought was a stable point to open that DRS just isn't, because, I mean, Shattered and Orange are not inexperienced drivers, so seeing them both get bitten by that is obviously not the easiest thing.
And in that, I think the timing screen has gone, the timing screen went a bit funky there. It is still Peter ahead of TTR. This is lap 8. It's saying Stupidoobie in third or Debug in third, Nate Delta in third. It's jumping around a little bit, so we just have to trust it how we see it on the map. Oh, there's Shattered Compass in the pits. Oh, and that's going to fall a long way back. That was a lot of damage to that car. So lap 9 now, Peter's starting to open up a gap. It's 4 seconds. Last couple of laps looked like about half a second a lap faster than TTAR. But then you got to think Nate Delta lapping the same as Peter. So Nate really was on fire and really was being held back by Shattered Compass there. Arsmoon about the same time as TTAR. So those front four seemingly in a league of their own in the 37s, and the rest of the field mixed. Like 38s, 39s, and then we got some pit stops here. Who's this? This looks like
Debug and Maxi.
Yeah, and then Shattered still in the pits. So this is about right for maybe a 2-stop. Getting in lap 8. I think there are about 26 laps for this race. Yeah. Gap starting to come down now. 3.5 seconds. Maybe Peter's made a small mistake, or the tyres starting to maybe get a little bit old here. Last time I mentioned Nate's gap to TTR, it was about 9.5 seconds, so he's bringing it down ever so slightly. He's hovering around that sort of pace. So what shows, had he got in front of Shattered Compass just a little bit earlier, he would have been right up with the leaders, no problem.
Yeah, and he's been able to stay away from Asmoon as well, keeping him out of it. DRS, maybe Asmoon hanging back a little bit to conserve his tires. You have to imagine there's some drivers here going for a 1-stop as well as the 2-stop. I think both, strategies are valid, but we'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah. So as we're on board with Asmoon, taking a very tight line and then a tight line again. You can hear how sensitive he is on the throttle. This track is really, really limited. There are some heavy corners that sort of light up the front left a little bit, but the rears are taking a bit of a pounding here as well. That's it. Going around Luffield through Woodcut, which isn't a corner anymore. It's absolutely flat out as fast as you can go. And Springflower 4.5 seconds behind. No, not the same pace that we saw in Montreal. Still got some pace, just about 1.5 seconds off the leaders.
Still a really solid, just to call out, Spring he's a reserve driver. He's not the main driver in that seat, but he's filled in a few races in a row now as the main driver Brauchen is out. He's been doing a really good job though, filling in. I mean, he's scoring solid points for that team, and ironically actually outscoring Shattered in the prior race, and appears to be in this race as well, as Shattered has made some driver errors.
Yeah, this is the 3rd race now, I believe. Shattered Compass has made a mistake. And I definitely remember Montreal. He went sideways and got a little bit of a tangle with Pulo, and then alone as well out of one of the chicanes.
Interesting. So both Springflower and Garrett choosing to pit together. Neither of them choosing to do an over and undercut. So it's going to be up to just on track for both of them.
Yeah, and it looks like Springflower's pit was a little bit quicker. So Garrett still got work to do. Gotta wonder if the over or the under is better. I would imagine once the tires start dropping off here, it's got to be the undercut that's the faster.
So Old Boy making a significantly earlier stop there is now able to inherit 5th, but we'll have to see if he can extend on this stint, or sorry, 5th there. We'll have to see if he can extend on this stint or not.
Oh, Garrett O'Brien caught for speeding. Oh, as he comes out or goes into the pit lane. That is usually a slam dunk, 10 seconds. I have to see what the stewards say though. And he is pushing.
And that's not going to help in his battle with Springflower. I mean, they seem really evenly matched, so that 10 seconds could be kind of spell the end for him in picking up more positions. But he's not holding back on Old Boy here.
He is not. And looking at the front, it looks like TTR's the first driver into the 36s. So those medium tires, he seems to be keeping alive. He's just a tiny bit faster than Peter just in front. As we see Nate on the map here going in to the pit. So could only hold on for 12 laps. That's pretty good pace though.
Should be able to make it to the end there if he's if they don't put on either mediums or hards on this final stint. Should be able to make it to the end.
And there we
There's
go.
the penalty.
Wow, what a dive. Has to give the position back, but as he gets given his 10-second penalty, he absolutely makes a lunge on an old boy there in the Force India, and it does not pay off. It does not pay off, but he had to try, and there was no contact, so all's well that ends well. Nate with a lot of work to do. Has Nate been off? Oh, these timings are jumping all over the place.
Yeah, I think I believe he pitted, so we'll have to see once the timings reset. But I think he was. Asman hasn't pitted. Peter hasn't pitted. Springflower hasn't
He's in
pitted.
sixth in front of Garrett.
Yeah, I believe 6th or 7th. Yeah.
Yeah, 6th or 7th. As we're on board with Asmoon, 13 seconds to the front runners. Ahead, Peter still in the lead, lap 12. Still keeping it clean. 1:37.5. What's TTR's time? 1:37 flat. So maybe those medium tires he's got on starting to show just a little bit of age there. You see Garrett getting sideways again. That cannot be helping his rear tires. Gets to cool them off now. In the dirty air of old boy in front.
And since he really made that dive, I mean, he's had to drop back quite a bit, trying to cool off his tires, try to set back up for another move. So really not helping himself in the long run, because his race really isn't with old boy. His race is with Springflower. He's sort of losing ground here behind old boy, because he almost loses it on the curb there.
And here we are. You can see the grip he's got in his tires so much tighter line. He's really hustling that car as he gets the back out again.
Those rears just have to be screaming.
Here we go. Look how tight he was on that line. He's got the DRS opening. He's hustling. It's only a quarter of a second in front. Can he make it stick? He can't even get it. Wow. Old boy, like shadowed before, must have been using so much of that KERS boost just to stay ahead there.
Really good exit here. We'll see if he tries to make a move into Copse. That's not the best place to overtake, but he's going to try it. Too wide. Is he going to hang it around the outside? He tries to.
That was bravery personified there with Garrett O'Brien. He tried. He didn't even use all the track. He had way more track to use. He's got a tighter line here. Better exit. Straightens up the car.
This is going to be it here. This has to be it.
DRS has got to be open. Yeah. He's going around the outside. Old boy's forcing him. What a great defensive move here. What a great battle. Is he later? He's going through the ground.
Goodness gracious, they're still side by side.
Oh, huge lockup.
Oh, no!
He hits him. Garrett O'Brien hits old boy. He locked up. Oh, that was so unlucky. What a battle they were having there. I wonder if he'll just... no, he's gone. He's not waiting around for him. He's like, I'm so sorry I hit you, but my race isn't here with you.
Yeah. For us as fans, well, that's a frustrating end to what was just an unbelievable battle. I mean, that was... The way they managed to just drive side by side for that long, I mean... Old boy must have been saving his battery, or maybe he has a lower downforce, because it seemed like Garrett just wasn't quite able to pull up as well as you'd expect in both those DRS zones.
Yeah, exactly right. And he's lost. So he pretty much came out, there was about a few seconds between him and Springflower. It's now, what was that, almost 9-10 seconds. So he lost a lot of time. That was frustration. A lot of frustration here as we're back on board with TTR, down to now just under 2.5 seconds to Peter. So just managed to keep those tires slightly fresher than Peter ahead. And after that little wobble we saw with him in Stowe, just slowly starting to crawl his way back towards the front runner. And this is much more the Peter that we're used to seeing in Montreal. He was back to being his dominant force, and here he's still in the front. He hasn't run away quite yet. He's being hounded by his old rival. So lap
Yep.
15, we got Peter, followed by TTR, followed by Arsmoon in third, Nate Delta in fourth, Springflower in fifth, Garrett O'Brien sixth. After that lunge and a bit of a spin with Old Boy, who's in seventh, Stupadoobie in the Ferrari in eighth, John in ninth. Not where we're used to seeing John, and Debug in 10th, Shattered Compass 11th, Orange Boy in 12th. Those are our two spinners with DRS. And then Maxi, Mumbo Man, and Pulo have all retired, it seems like, but we didn't get to catch them and see how they retired. Oh, apart from Pulo, who just spun on the line. Let's get Debug in the...
John in the pits here. Yeah, John in the pits here. So a little bit of an interesting battle kind of shaping up for the last point spot. I mean, we haven't really seen them much, but John pitting here, I have to imagine he's maybe on a one stop. I don't know if he's pitted yet. Yeah, kind of an interesting battle shaping up for the last points paint spot here.
Debug, what's his times? 37.5, so respectable. The times now, even most of the field in the 37s, just the 36 for Nate. So Nate's the fastest driver on track right now. And then, yeah, the timing board jumping all over the place. But it is updating occasionally.
Call that out. So he's the first of our leaders to pit. So all of those front three definitely on a one stop. Probably starting on the mediums, going to softs or vice versa.
Yeah, that was a great long stint from them. You've got to be thinking the pace they're putting out. Just on, I think it was medium tires for at least Peter and TTAR there. That is, good stint at good speed. They're probably having to do a little bit of managing just for temperatures here because the track is still at 48 degrees. The crowd is still peeling their skin at 31 degrees. It is medium cloud though, so there must be some small shadows and maybe tiny bits of shade that they find along the track. But it looks pretty hot out there. Oh, as we see Old Boy trying to warm up his tires. Not something you see very often on a hot day. As he exits the pits.
Interesting. So I think that's already his second stop now. So what if he's going to try to run it to the end? We've got Peter in the pits. Our leader is pitting.
That is
TTR right behind him.
TTR right behind him. So the gap's down to a second, I saw. Give or take. There's a long way down. TTR's cutting across. He's shortening the distance. Oh no, he has to go around Peter maybe. He's trying to shorten the distance to his pit box. As we see Peter leaving. Oh. That's a long stop. Yeah, I
think still not released.
He's still not released. I think he's left all damage on, so they might be trying to repair his gearbox. This is devastating news for the first Mates driver here.
15, 16, 17 seconds. He had it down to a second. It's going to be... he's getting nearly 20 seconds as he emerges. I mean, that is his race done.
Yeah, that is disappointing. You can see now he's right into the grips of everyone else. Where does he come out? 6th place, if that's right. Oh, disappointing. So it looks like Nate's second, Arsmoon third. Oh no, wait there. TTR's still in second. Timing board is jumping around a little bit. It's hard to tell right now where everyone is. I don't think Peter is in seconds. I think the timing boards are lying to us. I think he's still come out in the lead.
Perhaps the TV truck might be succumbing to the heat a little bit here. So we apologize for the technical difficulties.
Here we go. But we can see the battles. That's the most important thing. And we can see that Old Boy is right onto the back of Debug. DRS is open. It's making a move up the inside. Shuts the DRS into the braking zone. Holds the inside. Debug holding it around the outside. They are side by side, still leaving each other space, but he just seems to have the momentum. Wow.
Brilliant piece of driving from both of them.
That village into Brooklands, into Luffield. What a great combination of corners there for the overtaking this race. There's been so much overtaking, and Debug not giving up. He is hustling behind. He's trying to not lose that position.
Yeah, Silverstone really lends itself to some good racing just with the kind of alternating left and right hand corners. You can go from inside to outside to inside. We really see that through that, as you said, that Brooklyn's Luffield combo there.
Yeah, and the DRS zones leading up to them as well help you just keep in contention, because where they are right now into Stowe, not a famous overtaking spot, but it does keep you in contention through Stowe, at least into Vale and Club, where we see the drivers right now. And by now in the lap, the tyres are screaming. They're red hot. All the left-hand side tyres want to do is just fall off the wheel, but you will not let them. The drivers just commanding every single moment.
So it does look like now, as I think our timing screens have evened out, it does look like DTR loses a position to Nate Delta there on that pit exchange. So he's going to have to make an overtake, because I believe they're both on a similar strategy. So he's going to have to regain second on merit, not going to be able to retain that through the pit cycle.
That is right, and lurking behind them again, Arsmoon kept himself in contention, and Springflower just 3 seconds behind Arsmoon, so not as far as we can see on the map. If you look on the map, top right-hand side, in the bottom left of the map, you see 2, 3, 4, and 5. That 2 is Nate Delta leading them across the start-finish line. He's into the fast right-hander, into the long left-hander. Break here, maybe 70, 60 meters. Tight right-handed there of Farm. Go left-hander. It's the pure acceleration zone. All you're looking for is great traction. Cut as far as you dare. Not close enough to get DRS as you exit there onto Village.
And listening there on board, it sounds like TTR using the gears a little bit to slow himself down, kind of opening that, or starting his downshifts really high in the rev range to arrest the car a little bit, also helps save the tires, putting a little less energy through them as you're braking.
Exactly. So here we go. Peter now got quite a comfortable lead, but not holding back on pace. 33s. Everyone else is doing 36s, 35. Peter, this is what we're talking about. Peter out of the gate. No remorse. It's not my fault that you made a mistake. Here's what the lap time should be on these tires. Brutal.
Oh, you think you're in pain? Let me just add to it. That kind of seems like what he's doing here. He's like, oh, I guess since you're not challenging me, I might as well make it even bigger gap.
No points for fastest lap this season. No points. So, although it's quick, it is not necessarily going to get you more points. Maybe just adds a little bit of risk as well. So we see TTR going wide there in the dirty air of Nate. A second faster that lap. So he's starting to hustle now, down into the 35s against Nate's 36. Arsman behind them as well. 35.3, so he's catching in on this group as well. Just starting to leave Springflower just a little bit behind.
And Asmun benefiting from this battle here. You know, Nate's starting to have to think about defending a little bit. TTR in the dirty air having to be a little bit slower than it could be in clean air. So Asmun, again, just there to pick up the pieces, really putting together a great championship drive today.
This is incredible. Go. We're out onto the old start-finish straight here. Into Copse. This is the favourite part of the track for most drivers in the world. As you enter Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel. And there's Debug in the pits. Out of Chapel onto the hangar straight. DRS is finally open. He's close enough. Wow, really caught up there. And takes a tighter line. I think it's soft tyres versus hard tyres, so there has to be a grip advantage, but you have to use it smart and wise. They got the same distance left in the race.
TCR really managed to close up there. He must have been on the button in addition to the DRS, so gonna try to stay close here through the first few corners of the lap. Get some good braking in the Village here. Keep it clean through the loop. Keep it clean through Aintree onto the Wellington straight. I bet you we're going to see him try for an overtake here.
Here we go. DRS open slightly later, if you notice, than both Shattered and Orange. So Gets the braking done down the inside. Nate's holding on. Nate's giving it. TTR
That
closes
was
the door.
decisive.
He just closes the door and goes, "Thank you very much, Nate. That was a great battle." And already 0.7 of a second ahead. Last Moon, like a shark in the background. Can we play the Jaws music at this moment, editor? Just creeping up, saying, "Hey there, Nate. How's it going?"
So you said Nate's on hards. What is Asmoon on?
I am not sure what Asmoon is on. See if we can see what he is racing here.
Nate actually holding on here. Hasn't dropped as far behind as I would have expected. So it seems like, on the straights, obviously those hards are not as much of a disadvantage. So this final sector, on the straights, able to keep a little bit closer, but he'll start to fall back here through more of the corners where those the softer rubber on TTR can really show its advantage. Oh, a nice move there for seventh from Old Boy on Stupid Doobie.
It was. I think Asmoon is on hard tires. My board here is saying he was medium to start with and he's gone onto the hard. So incredible pace. It's hard versus hard for third place.
Looks like almost a second and a half to 2 seconds quicker there on that last lap. So Asmoon is coming. This final step on the podium is not spoken for. I mean, we've still got another number of laps left. So yeah, this isn't done yet.
This is not done. Peter with a commanding lead so far as we go. TTR in second. Whoa, Springflower with a huge wobble there. Gets it all kinds of wrong.
I think he's over into the crowd there.
Safety car deployed. Wow. And the field is neutralized. Who can go into the pits? That is TTR straight into the pits. Peter is nowhere near the pits. Those are some old soft tires on his car. And the safety car is already out and waiting to pick him up. Will he get round in time? Everyone diving into the pits.
Yes, very wisely, second, third, and fourth, all diving in there. So TTR will have reset his settings here. I'm sure he's going to make sure there's no damage repair. He just wants tires and go.
Yeah, there's no fuel, remember, in these races. In this season of Formula One, refueling was already banned by this point. So these cars are heavy at the beginning. And right now, 3 laps left, you're essentially just qualifying with the amount of fuel left in the car. And Peter is hustling his way around the track. He realizes it's all going wrong for him. But he's got a 1 minute 20 advantage. And he might just be able to pick the safety car up at the end of the pits because it's waiting for him right there.
So he may also be able to dive in here in the pits and get his... Oh, Nate Delta speeding. Oh, no. I was about to say there's going to be a really good battle there for second, third, and fourth, but that's, like as you said before, that's a slam dunk, as I think that's Peter into the pits in the background there.
That is in the background, and that is Shattered Compass in front. I think most of the field here just jumped onto the softs. There, it was a no-brainer. Give yourself the best advantage, and now everyone else that has been out of the pits already is racing around to try and make sure they can catch Peter and the safety car so that they have an opportunity in the last... Oh, it's got to be 1 lap of racing, 2 laps of racing by the time the safety car comes in, you got to think. And there we go. Slam dunk, speeding in the pit lane, 10 seconds. These Automobilista 2 stewards are brutal with the pit lane.
And that's really going to hurt, especially with everybody being piled up here for the restart. I mean, 10 seconds, if we were racing without a safety car, would be one thing, but now with everyone backed up, I mean, that's going to pretty much ruin his race, ruin any chance of a top 5, I think.
I think so. I think Old Boy jumped into the pits. I think he climbed up. We didn't get to see it on track, but I think he climbed up because he was going long. And I think he's jumped into the pits and he's just falling down the order as the safety cars in this lap. They got half a lap. Oh, I think Old Boy might have made a mistake here. Yeah, it looks like TTR, Arse, Moon, Nate. I think they're going to catch the front runners. Maybe 5th place. Garrett O'Brien are maybe going to have time to just catch the pack. But with the safety car in this lap, the whole rest of the pack 6th downwards and nowhere near. They're not going to make it. They're not going to catch the pack up. So there's going to be a battle for the top 5. This may come into Nate's favor. It's such a large gap between 5th place and 6th place. There may be enough room for the 10-second penalty as we see. Here we go. This is the second pack. Stupadoobie leading it.
And this is essentially a race. I mean, even though the safety car is just coming in now, I mean, those 6th, 7th, and 8th, they're racing straight up.
They are. Oh, and I think that's Debug in between Peter and TTR. So that's Peter's already gone. And Debug just gets right out of the way there of all the other guys. But that just would have cost them just a second or so. And he tried his best. And that's all you can ask for. As we see the second, this is the battle for 6th place. Oh, and Stupadoobie has no DRS to defend. Everyone else behind him gets DRS. You get DRS. You get DRS. Everyone gets DRS. Apart from you. It's TTR Arsemoon hounding him.
They're both on fresh softs, so this is driver on driver. This is as evenly matched as it's going to get. I mean, Arsemoon is really close.
And it is tough to stay right behind all race long. It's just brutally difficult to stay up right behind these drivers. So he's hovering around a second, maybe through the detection zone. I think he would have got it. DRS is open. He was. John up into 7th place. This has worked out well for John. There's a back on board with the front block. This is Arsemoon. And round last complex just before they enter the start-finish straight for the last lap. This is his last opportunity this lap, and he is 0.3. TTR has not managed to catch up Peter. It's about the same as when the flag dropped.
Arsemoon has finished first and then second this year, so he's looking for another second to try to keep that lead over Peter, because we know that now Peter's back on form. DRS open. Here we go.
Coming down the insides. Oh, there's a slight touch. TTR goes slightly wide. Oh, Orange Boy with track limits somewhere along the track. In a battle we can't see. Arsemoon is 0.1 of us.
Does he try it down the inside in Copse?
Oh.
He does!
That was as close as you want to have it in Copse. Peter still in front right now. Leading the pack. So coming through. This is the complex that everyone loves. Maggots and Beckett's.
Arsemoon's going to have one more opportunity here into the final braking zone. I mean, he's close. I don't know if he's close enough, though.
He's not close enough. That looks like Peter coming through the final one. TTR manages to keep it together. No mistakes. Peter wins. He comes across the line. Arsemoon takes third. TTR finishes his first race in decent points here after the disappointments of the last few races. Nate Delta, is there a 10-second gap? I think there is. Back to Garrett. Oh, orange. 21 seconds. Garrett comes across the line, 5th place. But we still got the race here. This is the race for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. John D defending. Is this John? No, that's Debug. It must be from Shattered Compass.
Final lap.
That was incredible. I'll beat it. That was an incredible race from you.
Oh, man.
I can't believe the start I had. I went from 8th to 3rd by the second corner. I shouldn't have pit.
Oh, as we see the finish here, and these are the race results. Peter just ended up being 2 seconds in front of TTR, who takes 2nd. Alex in 3rd place there, Arsmoon, with the fastest lap as well. Nate Delta in 4th, managed to stay ahead of Garrett, who also had a 10-second penalty, don't forget. John D in 6th, Old Boy in 7th, Stupidoobie in 8th, Shattered Compass in 9th, Orange Trumpet Boy in 10th. And driver of the day was Garrett there. What a drive, hustling his way through.
So Askmoon, he retains his lead of 58 points, was trying to pick up a few more there as he was just hustling TTR at the end, but Peter back on form, 2 wins in a row. He's up to 50 points, already threatening. Garrett O'Brien in 3rd with 31, TTR in 4th with 24. Really good points day for him. Nate Delta tied with TTR with 24 points. Orange Trumpet Boy, Stupid Doobie. Spring Flower up in a solid 8th. John D, Brauchen, Pulo, Debug, Mr. Mouse, Shattered Compass, Old Boy Bob, Coop Dog, and Dutch, your final point scorers. So far, we've had Killer Disturbed, Come Some, and Maxi in races, but they have yet to score points. Moving over to the Constructors. Really, really strong showing from McLaren out of the gate. I mean, they've been scoring podiums, they've been scoring top 5s consistently, so they've got 89 points, putting 29 points on top of Lotus. But Peter's really dragging that Lotus team up into 2nd. The first mates, I think a little bit of a slower start than they would have wanted in 3rd. Captain's in 4th, tied with Red Bulls. So really, really remarkable results in the back of Mr. Mouse and Nate Delta there up in 5th. Williams in 6th, Ferrari in 7th. Force India in 8th, Mercedes in 9th, and then Caterham with no points in 10th.
And thank you so much for joining. What a race that was. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We love giving this content to you guys. And from myself, Alex, and from Nate here, thank you so much for watching.